Hello everyone, this is Saad Amir and today's topic of discussion is whether to give the GRE or the GMAT. So a lot of people, literally a lot of people have asked me the same question that if we should give the GRE or the GMAT. So I'm sure the majority knows what the GRE or the GMAT is. But do you guys actually know what the GRE or the GMAT stands for? The GRE stands for Graduate Record Examination, whereas the GMAT stands for Graduate Management Admission Test. So most of you right now would be thinking that why do I even care about the initials of the GRE or the GMAT? The answer is that you should know what these initials stand for, because this was exactly one question that was thrown at me from a business school during my interview. So let's start discussing the major concerns that the majority wants answers for. So let's start with the dollars. How much does the GRE cost? It costs $205 as compared to the GMAT, which costs $250. We'll now move on to the AWA section, which stands for Analytical Writing Assessment, and in other words is the essay. So there are two essays in the GRE. The first one is the issue essay, which is of half an hour, and the second one is the argument essay, which is also of half an hour. Whereas on the GMAT, there's only one essay of 30 minutes and the topic is usually a business-based argument. My take on the essay is that it shouldn't be the deciding factor in choosing either the GRE or the GMAT. Now, why do I say this? The essay itself doesn't hold much significance. A 4.0 out of 6 is usually decent enough to get you into any graduate school in the world. Trust me, a 4.0 out of 6 does not require a lot of hard work, just basic structure of English, basic grammar, and basic spellings. However, I need to point out that if you're going for a very verbal intensive major, for example, English literature in grad school, then the essay may have more importance. So my preparation for the AWA or the essay was literally 10 to 15 minutes before the exam. I saved the essay preparation time and invested it in verbal and cont and learning vocabulary. I will be discussing those 6 to 7 tricks in a separate AWA or essay video. For now, I will be moving on to the comparison of GRE and GMAT's cont section. So the GRE cont section has 3 types of questions. The first is quantitative comparison. The second is problem solving, which has A, B, C, D and E options, those 5 options. And the third is data interpretation. Whereas when you talk about the GMAT, it only has 2 types of questions. The first is problem solving, like the GRE, and the second is data sufficiency. So I know what you guys are wondering, that 2 types of questions definitely seems more simpler than 3 types of questions. In reality, it is just the opposite. Now, why do I say that GMAT's cont is tougher? There's a reason why I'm saying this. So the data sufficiency part is actually tough. You definitely do not have to solve the entire question for data sufficiency. You just have to point out if the data itself is sufficient enough to answer the question. I would say that there are one type of similar questions in the GRE and the GMAT, which is problem solving, which has all these A, B, C, D, these 5 options as I mentioned before. You cannot even think of comparing the data sufficiency difficulty level with the quantitative comparison on the GRE. I mean, the data sufficiency is way tougher than the quantitative comparison. Now, the data interpretation questions on the GRE are included in the cont section, whereas the data interpretation, which is known as the integrated reasoning on the GMAT, is not part of the cont section. The integrated reasoning section on the GMAT, just like the AWA or the essay, is scored separately. So to sum up the cont analysis, there is no doubt that the GMAT math is tougher than the GRE math. In my opinion, if the GRE cont's difficulty level is around 6 out of 10, then the GMAT's cont difficulty level is definitely around 9 out of 10. Now I'll be moving on to the verbal section of the GRE and the GMAT. The biggest myth that I've come across is that GMAT's English is easier than the GRE. I would say that is definitely not the case. So there was a definite answer when it came to the comparison of the GMAT and the GRE cont, but as far as the verbal section of the GRE and the GMAT is concerned, there is no definite answer. Some find the GMAT easier and some find the GRE verbal easier. So if you're good at learning words and understanding the meanings contextually, then the GRE verbal will be in your favor. Whereas if you're good with your grammar skills, then sentence correction will be your best friend. The questions generally on the GMAT are more logic based. For example, The questions that ask you to weaken or strengthen the argument are also purely based on logic. Whereas 50%, that is 10 out of 20 questions in a verbal section, is related to vocabulary. I wouldn't say it's entirely dependent on vocabulary because text completion and sentence equivalence do require logic. So the biggest myth on the GRE verbal section that I've come across is that you learn a lot of words and you'll get through. That is definitely not the case. I would have said that this was a game changer back in 2017 mid. But now it is definitely not the game changer. Now, why do I say that? So you can ask someone who has recently given the GRE or perhaps has taken the Power Prep Plus 3. I would again repeat the Power Prep Plus 3, which is a paid mock. If they have given that or the real GRE, they would second me that the text completion and sentence equivalence has tilted more towards logic rather than rote learning of words. So it all boils down to the question that do you favor logic-based questions or do you favor learning words contextually and then using them logically? I would again repeat that you have to attempt both the verbal sections. By both, I mean the GMAT and the GRE's verbal section, and analyze what particular questions suit you. Now I'll be getting into the nitty-gritty details of both the exams. So the GRE can be accepted for a business school as well as any other masters, whereas the GMAT is preferred for business schools. Another important point that people miss out on is that the GRE is section adaptive, whereas the GMAT is question adaptive. Now, what do I mean by the term section adaptive? The section adaptive on the GRE means that if you do one particular section very well, the next section becomes more difficult. Whereas the GMAT is question adaptive, which means if you do one question correct and you keep on doing those questions correct, the next question becomes increasingly more difficult. Now, logically speaking, every question becoming more difficult as compared to every section becoming more difficult is much harder. So the GMAT in this sense is also harder than the GRE. So I know what's coming to your mind regarding the GRE, that why shouldn't we attempt less questions correctly on the GRE so that the next section becomes easier. Now let me explain why you shouldn't commit this mistake. So if you commit this mistake, you definitely get the next section easier. Now that is not a very good thing. Now why do I say this? Even if you get all 20 out of 20 questions correct, each question has very less weightage as compared to a medium or a harder section which has more weightage than the easier section. The same rule applies for the GMAT question adaptive section. So if you commit questions wrong, you will get the next question easier and each question's weightage will be less than the previous one. Another important thing to note is that you can maneuver the cont or the verbal section on the GRE. By maneuvering, I mean that you can go back and forth. For example, you can skip from question 1 to 10, from question 10 to 20, and then you can come back to 20, from 20 to 4. But in GMAT, you cannot do that. So you have to attempt each question as it comes. So you can basically not skip and review on the GMAT, which is harder as compared to the GRE. Although you can move in the GRE section back and forth, there is also an advantage while you give the GMAT. So for the GMAT, you can choose your section order. Now, what do we mean by the section order? So the first option, which is also the original option, is to attempt the AWA first, then the integrated reasoning, then the cont section, and then the verbal section. So the second option is to attempt the verbal section first, then the cont section, then the integrated reasoning, and then the AWA or the essay. And the third and the last section is to attempt the cont section first, then the verbal section, then the integrated reasoning, and then the AWA or the essay section. Now your next question probably is that which section order do we start with? I would say to play on your strong suits. So if I were you, I would definitely start with the cont section, and that is option number 3. If you compare both the exams' total time limit, the GRE is only 15 minutes more than the GMAT. So the GRE is about 3 hours and 45 minutes including the experimental section, whereas the GMAT is around 3 hours and 30 minutes. Also, the GMAT has an entire experimental section. Now, what do I mean by the experimental section? There will be one section where the entire section will not be counted. Now, what do I mean by not being counted? You will be attempting the section. It can either be verbal or quant, and you wouldn't know what the experimental section is, and it will not count towards your final score. Whereas on the GMAT, there might be some experimental questions, but they might not be as exhausting as the experimental section on the GRE. Both the exams are valid for 5 years, so there's no difference there. Research shows that the GMAT is preferred for MBA schools, but then again, there are top universities such as Harvard, Stanford, and Yale that equally prefer the GRE or the GMAT. It actually shows on their website. You can take a look. So to sum it up, the GRE Quant is definitely easier, whereas for the verbal, you will have to keep practicing both the questions on the GRE and the GMAT and then figure out what type of questions suit you. The essay and the duration of the exam, both of these factors should not be your deciding factors. The GRE section adaptive feature is much easier than the question adaptive feature. I would again repeat, section adaptive feature is easier than attempting question adaptive format. Also, the fact that you can maneuver between sections, as I previously mentioned on the GRE, that makes life easier during the exam. You might think that this is not a big factor, but while giving the exam, you will be thankful that you can move around and you can mark the questions and then review them. Whereas on the GMAT, you cannot do this. So the best mocks for the GRE, as mentioned in my previous videos, are the power preps, whereas the best mocks for the GMAT are definitely on the website mba.com. The best resource for practicing the GMAT Quant are the official guides as well as the Manhattan books. So the Manhattan books are a notch higher, but they're very good practice. I would again say that I'm saying this for GMAT Quant, not for GRE Quant. For the verbal section on the GMAT, I would advise to use the official guide only, just like I said, to use the official guide for the GRE. If given a choice to me, I would definitely prefer the GRE over the GMAT, and that is around 80% of the population. They prefer GRE over the GMAT, even for MBA schools. Having said that, you cannot deny the fact that the GMAT itself is the gold standard in terms of the level of questions that you come across. Also, another point that a lot of people don't know is that you should keep in mind that when you convert your GRE score to your GMAT score, you will be relatively punished. Now, what do I mean by this? So the GMAT's Quant is much more difficult than the GRE's Quant, as I explained. But to be honest, that relative punishment is justified because the GRE's Quant is much easier to score on as compared to the GMAT. So I've mentioned most of the factors that you should take into account between giving the GRE or the GMAT. But if you still have any queries or questions, you can comment on the video below or directly message me on Instagram. I hope this video was useful. Let's ace the GRE the 3-for-1 way.